What shall the next deck on the wheel be? Let's spin the initiative. So this is Mono White Initiative in Vintage, so named after the initiative cards, White Plume Adventurer and Seasoned Dungeoneer. So the idea is to slam an initiative creature as fast as possible in order to get way ahead on the initiative and then just beat down your opponent. Now obviously, if that's all you were doing, you would still lose to combo decks, so you got to have some kind of stacks plan to stop that, meaning Thalia, Trinisphere, Archon of Emeria, and Anointed Peacekeeper. There's also Dauntless Dismantler as a way to have opponents' artifacts enter the battlefield tapped, and you can blow them up. Then for removal, we've got some Solitudes. There's also Chancellor of the Annex, which is another way of potentially slowing our opponent down. And then Emeria's Call, which in this deck is really just more of a way to have one of our lands be pitchable to Solitude. But hypothetically, if we get long enough in the game, we can cast it. It also pitches, it's also a land that technically pitches to Chrome Mox, so thus the Emeria's Calls. And then our land base is pretty simple: Ancient Tomb, Cavern, 1 Karakas, regular land, Strip Mine, Wasteland. Then in the sideboard, we have a third copy of Solitude, as along with 3 Swords to Plowshares for the creature matchups, Containment Priest for the graveyard matchups or any other deck that's cheating stuff in, Loren to the Third Path as more artifact removal for the decks that are more artifact heavy than normal. There's Archon of Absolution, which is a 4-mana 3/2 flyer pro white. Creatures can't attack you or planeswalkers you control unless their controller pays 1 for each of those creatures. So this is good in 2 instances. It's good in the mirror, where since it's pro white, it can block everything except Dungeoneer. It can also attack through anything and get the initiative back. It also taxes combats, so it's good for anything that's looking to swarm the board, like Hollowvine, that doesn't have any mana. And then Mindbreak Trap for the Storm-esque decks. And that's pretty straightforward for what the deck is. There are other versions of Initiative. It's not just mono white. There are like dual color versions, but they're always centered in white because of primarily White Plume and the, white stacks cards. So you don't have to be mono white, but mono white is usually the most straightforward one. So with that out of the way, let's jump into our league. All right, we are on the play for round 1. Let's see. We've got a turn 1 Thalia with Chancellor backup into a turn 3 Dungeoneer. All right, I'll keep, and we'll reveal the Chancellor. So reveal the Chancellor. Opponent also reveals a Chancellor. All right, well, in that case, Wasteland, Mox Emerald, trigger, pay it. Oh, they revealed double Chancellor on their side? I thought it was just revealing 2 Chancellors, period. Oh, well, I misread that. But their hand has 2 Chancellors in it, and they're paying for our Chancellor. Chrome Mox, Mox Ruby, Jesus, and Thalia. Okay, and they imprinted one of the Chancellors. Yeah. Well, if I'd realized that, I would have just waited a turn. Okay, cancel this one, name human, Thalia. You drew Dungeoneer off the top. You gotta be kidding. Jesus, absolutely ridiculous. All right, well, now we're behind. So play this untapped. And I don't know, I guess Archon can steal it back from them every turn. This can name mana abilities, right? No, it can't. Well, it can, but it doesn't do anything. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, play an Archon. We're just going to be behind on the initiative now, unfortunately. But I guess it serves me right for not understanding that they had 2 Chancellors revealed. So this is 5 or more a turn, which we can't block. What'd they reveal? White Plume Adventurer. Ugh. We're almost dead, like, already. Just insane. I can actually bounce their Thalia. But I need to get my own dude in play. So, all right, combat, attack with the Archon. So then we take the initiative. We grab our planes, we play our planes, we play the Dungeoneer to get the initiative again, and put the counters onto the Dungeoneer. So initiative, forge onto Dungeoneer. Unfortunately, we're just going to lose this race, right? Actually, we just lose. We just straight up lose, right? We take 6 and then take 5 from trap, and then we're dead. Oh, yeah. All right. Well, this match is going to absolutely suck. So let's see. Swords to Plowshares, Solitude, Archon. So Trinisphere basically doesn't matter here. Thalia doesn't really matter. Anointed doesn't seem very good either. Even Chancellor doesn't really seem all that good. Like, it can maybe slow your opponent down by a turn, but it's otherwise sort of a dead card. I think Loren is probably just better. And is there any other card I would take out for the third Loren? The Anointed? Actually, no. Is Archon bad? Archon... The fact that it flies is good to steal the initiative back. It also potentially slows your opponent down depending on what their opening lands are. But I think generally it's not great. It's either that or Anointed. I guess I like the fact that Anointed has Vigilance and it's bigger. What can you even name with it? Like, nothing matters, right? So its ability is basically irrelevant. All right, well, run this. Okay, we've got almost the turn 2 Dungeoneer, but not quite. Or the turn 1 Dungeoneer, rather, but we don't have the... Yeah, so we've got the turn 2 Dungeoneer with swords to maybe kill something on their side. All right, I'll keep. So I think I'm supposed to... Like, I need this guaranteed land, so I can't get rid of any of that. I think I'm just supposed to play Wasteland and pass. They may not have sided out Thalia, though I imagine they will have. I guess let's go... I'm going to Chrome Mox the Solitude, I think. So Wasteland, Sapphire, Chrome Mox, Imprint, Solitude. Then over to them. And this way, if they play a creature, we can Swords it. And then otherwise, we just untap and play Emeria and play Dungeoneer. All right, so play this, untap, play Dungeoneer, trigger... Get the initiative. 3 different triggers just for the initiative. So they have swords. All right, so they swords our guy, and then if they just play their own guy and get the initiative of their side, then we have to steal it back with Archon. Anointed Peacekeeper. So, I mean, there's nothing they can name that... I guess they can name Wasteland, so I can't waste their Ancient Tomb. That's what I would name. Although even if they do, I guess they name Swords, so that the Swords costs more to Swords this. Yeah, Swords to Plowshares. So then I'm obviously not forging, so we'll go Lost Well. Solitude on top. All right, I don't want the Jet, but I do want the Solitude, so we'll top that. Play this, and then I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so it's better to just Solitude this thing, or Solitude something else they play, because if I Wasteland here, then I can't Solitude anymore, although the fact that they didn't have any other mana makes me really inclined to just Wasteland this and play Archon, like, by a lot. No, I guess I have to kill this because I need them to not take the initiative. All right, yeah. So just pass back to them, and we'll Solitude that on their turn. Archon of Emeria. Yeah, that's fine. So they can't play another spell anyway, so let's just cast this now. Eat this dude, and then we can untap Swords the Archon, play our own Archon, and hit them. Cavern of Souls. Sure. Type is Elemental, so they've got their own. All right. Stash, make a treasure, Loran. So blow up Ancient Tomb. Then we Swords this guy. Then we play our own Archon, so that other lands of theirs come in tapped, and then we attack with Solitude. All right, so active initiative on our side, way more mana than they have, and we have 2 creatures and they don't have any creatures. All right, so we make a skeleton. We drew White Plume. All right, play White Plume. Yeah, all right. So we get game 2, and then it's on to game 3. So, I mean, I don't feel like I'm supposed to change anything. Maybe Archon is like, these are the worst cards, right? Loran can blow up opposing Mono Rocks, which is why I want it. So the only question is which one of these is better than each other. All right, we've got a turn 1 dude with Chrome Mox, Mox Pearl, Ancient Tomb. So yeah, this is fine. We also have Loran to kill their stuff. And Dauntless. Monocrypt. Plains. Plays Archon. That's rough. So now we can't double spell. That is really rough. I guess they can't double spell either. So if we're going to play the Pearl, and then this tapped, I guess. I don't think I'm going to Chrome Mox at this point. So play this tapped. Oh, I forgot this makes lands come in tapped. So I needed to play Ancient Tomb. So all I can do next turn is play Dauntless. Ugh. Well, this is what happens when you're not familiar with the format. But, I mean, you know, read the card. So Archon hits us. They didn't have anything to do? All right, well, Ancient Tomb. I guess I play this guy. There's maybe an argument to just play another Mox, because if they, like, untap and Wasteland us, that's an issue. But, So 4 mana, nothing to do. So they don't have Dungeoneer or White Plume Adventurer, which means they probably have Solitude. All right, take some more from the Archon. We're down to 16. Problem is, if I play the initiative guy right now, then they just steal it. So they almost certainly have Solitude, right? So there's no point in attacking with this. All right, hurt, play Loran. So blow up Monocrypt. So they don't have Solitude. I'm kind of shocked. All right, go to combat. Swing. What in the world do they have then? Cavern, name human. Over to them. So they can just Karakas this Loran backdoor hand, but that doesn't really do much for them. All right, they finally have White Plume. So then we have to White Plume their initiative, and then I don't have a good way of attacking. I have to, like, suicide attack into this. Oh, this actually gets to untap the Archon, so I'm not going to have any good attacks, right? All right, we need to draw removal. That is sort of, what type is this? Artificer, so neither of them can actually attack. It's better if I play the Cleric first, because I don't have to hurt myself off Ancient Tomb to do it. All right, play the White Plume. So trigger, take the initiative. Then we get the Undercity, then the Undercity triggers, then we get this thing, and then I can't play another spell this turn anyway, so I may as well play Ancient Tomb tapped. And I don't have any attacks here, so just pass back to them. And then they can hit us with the Archon. Yeah, all right. So yield to this. So they can hit us with the Archon and steal it back. Then we can play Dungeoneer, steal it back. So Archon attacks. We can't block. I think I may actually be at the point where I'm going to start activating Lauren because, like, I need to draw answers to their stuff. All right, so they put the counters here. Like, I need to kill this thing or Archon. All right, activate Lauren. White Plume. All right. So their White Plume triggers to untap their Archon. Then we drew Anointed. Well, I need to get through, so I need to play Dungeoneer first. Man, if they drew Solitude, that's so fucking bad, but, like, we can't play assuming they have it. All right. Season Dungeoneer. And resolve this. Steal it back. Like, I don't need to race them. I just need to find answers. So let's Lost Well. Solitude on top. All right, so top this, bottom this. Go to combat. Attack. This triggers, right? Oh, actually, I guess I'm going to activate Lauren now before that resolves. So, Lauren. So, they have their own Solitude. Yeah, okay. So, Solitude, sure. Hits the board. Exiles White Plume, sure. So, it fails the Explorer, but we still get to draw our own Solitude, and then we can Solitude back their Archon. So, resolve this ability, then resolve this ability, which does nothing, and then it's over to them. And I can double block this guy if they attack with this. So, I can dual block here, Solitude this guy. Swords are dude. Ugh, yeah. Oh, how much is this? So if I block Solitude, I'm taking 7 down to 11, then they trap, and we go to 6. And then I can untap on my turn and Solitude this guy for Ancient Tomb. So 2, 3, 4, 5, and then play another follow-up. All right. So let's block here and then just take the damage. They're going to untap White Plume, right? So I have to kill that. But then I can just play my own White Plume to steal the initiative back. All right, damage. So initiative comes back. They trap us. We go to 6. All right, our turn. So then their thing triggers. They untap a creature, presumably itself. Yeah, we draw our own Archon. All right. Solitude cast. Spend this, and this. So resolve the Solitude. We need to get Archon off the board, so get Archon away. And then I can play my own White Plume and steal it, although we do go to 2. Actually, no, I can Chrome Mox this. So Chrome Mox, trigger, eat Archon. Play Ruby, White Plume, trigger. So stash, make a treasure. I guess I should probably play Anointed Peacekeeper here, right? Like, what's the problem if I go to 2? It's only, well, it's a problem that I can't tap my lands for mana, but that's not really an issue. I just need to get more stuff onto the board. So, all right, white, Anointed. What's in your hand? They have another Solitude? Yep, that's not too bad. Eat our White Plume, sure. They have Emeria, Anointed, and how much do they have for Emeria? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They actually can almost cast it. So I need to name Emeria's Call. All right, Emeria's Call. And then we don't have any attacks, so over to them. They can Karakas Lauren off the board, and then we have 3 blockers. We have to multi-block White Plume. Oh, you're kidding me. They drew into an initiative creature, which means the White Plume's unblockable. It's specifically Dungeoneer too, which means White Plume is unblockable. I don't know how we're futzing around. You can just attack with White Plume and win. There's literally no point in doing this. Just attack with the White Plume. Yeah. Well, that was awful. Let's move on. All right, we've got turn 1 initiative guy we're keeping. Mana Crypt. Forbidden Orchard. Tinker. Bolas' Citadel. All right, so we're dead, right? So we're just dead on turn 1. Unless the top card of their deck is a land, but even if it is, like, I guess we just gotta slam Thalia immediately. Lotus Petal. All right, slamming Thalia ASAP. Chrome Mox. So trigger, imprint, Emeria's Call, land, Thalia. Oh, come on. They have Force of Will too? You've got to be kidding me. All right. Turn 1 Tinker, Force of Will backup. Jesus Christ. Well, it doesn't matter. Even if they don't just kill us on this turn, we're dead next turn. Pearl. And like all good cards, we have to just wait around because they can brick. Chancellor of the Annex. I mean, I don't even want to wasteland them. So like, all right, Ancient Tomb, White Plume. Initiative, it's such a pain in the ass that this is 3 different triggers and that every single room on the Undercity is a different trigger, so you can't just auto-yield to every one of them. Grab this. Combat. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We still can't play Chancellor even if we draw a white source for the Chrome Mox next turn. All right, attack. I mean, like, technically, if they're not manipulating the top card of their deck, then if they just find 2 lands in a row, they brick. So, like, we're technically not dead yet. Polluted Delta. Fetch. I don't like that it doesn't tell me in the log whether the top card is, or whether the card they're playing is from the top or not. All right, well, we got to beat them down super fast. So Forge, Dauntless Dismantler is actually good here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So if I play Dismantler and I can leave open, I have to leave open 3 in order to pop the zeros at any moment. All right, so go to combat. It also means that they can't get free mana off the top if they do hit artifacts. Swing. All right, they're at 10. Let's play land. Let's play Dismantler. Over to them. This untaps this. Oath of Druids. Okay, that doesn't matter yet unless they time walk. Another Oath of Druids. They are playing these off the top. Like, I guess Ancestral Recall. I'm not sure if I was supposed to pop in response to that, but I don't think so. Because they can just float the mana, right? Yeah. Lotus. Okay, well, it enters tapped anyway, so that doesn't matter. Show and Tell. That could be an issue. All right, well, yeah, Show and Tell resolves. Put Chancellor into play. They put in another Oath of Druids. Mox Sapphire trigger. Okay, I cannot believe we won that. So it's Bolas' Citadel, like, nonsense time. So we want, I don't know, I guess Mindbreak Trap and Lauren. And then we don't want Solitude, although, like, we do need to keep some removal in the deck in case. Kind of all of this is good, right? Like, we still need our initiative guys to beat them down. And we still want all of the stack stuff. So the Laurens are potentially just too slow. I left for like 3 minutes. How'd you win? They just didn't find what they needed off the Citadel. And then they went to like 2 life and Show and Tell off the top. And then we put Chancellor of the Annex into play and they put a 3rd Oath of Druids into play. So I kind of want all of these cards, although the Laurens are not strictly necessary. And I don't want to cut anything except for like 1 Solitude. So I don't know what to cut. Like the Archons are good. The Anointeds are maybe not good. I don't know. We can name some pretty good stuff. All right, let's not bring in Lauren. And so Mindbreak Trap only matters if they go like spell, Citadel. Like it doesn't matter if they're just playing stuff normally. Again, this is another case where if I had more experience in Vintage, I would know what to board here, but I don't. So I'll just swap 1 Solitude for 1 Mindbreak Trap. Maybe I'm supposed to swap all the Solitudes for Mindbreak Trap and cut something else. Oh yeah, Containment Priest is good against Oath of Druids. All right, this hand's nuts, so we're keeping it. Like, if we don't die on turn 1, we have a turn 1 Archon or Thalia, or potentially even both, right? Drop Island, top. All right, so it's kind of awkward. I have to imprint one of them to get this Chrome Mox online. So let's just not do that. Let's just go Wasteland, blow this up, and then we'll go Mana Crypt, Jet, Petal, and I think Archon's better. So white, tap, cast Archon. Over to you. Plays a tap, Besage you. Plays Mox Sapphire. All right. Mana Crypt trigger. We won the flip. All right. Anointed Peacekeeper. So I'm going to Chrome Mox one of these. Probably this one. So Chrome Mox, trigger, imprint this dude. I can't play any more spells. So attack with the Archon. Spin the top. Island. Oh, there's Oath of Druids. Ugh. So we're dead now, right? Beginning of each player's upkeep, the player chooses a target player who controls more creatures than they do and is their opponent. Drew Ancient Tomb. All right. Well, go to combat. Attack. Do I even play Thalia here? Like, it doesn't matter, right? I mean, they're going to get to Oath, and whatever they're Oathing for, we can't beat. So I may as well just not play Thalia. I don't know. If somehow we're in a position where this Archon dies and then we can Oath and maybe try to hit Solitude. All right, Oath of Druids. What is it? Gristlebrand, Atraxa, Emrakul, Sphinx of the Steelwind. It's not even that bad. I mean, obviously we can't beat it unless we hit Solitude, but, like, not even that bad. Tinker. All right, well, Portal of Phyrexia. You sure about that? All right. Oath of Druids trigger. Choose my opponent. Use the ability. Reveal White Plume. All right. Initiative. All right, grab this. We lost the flip. We drew Archon. All right. Well, I don't know how many creatures they have in their deck, but it feels like playing a creature here is kind of bad. On the other hand, I could play Archon and let's see, they can reanimate Archon, which is irrelevant. I can play my Archon to block this, I guess, to keep the initiative going. This thing has Vigilance, so I can't steal the initiative back if I don't do that. All right, then they get to reanimate the Archon onto their side of the board, so they'll have 2 blockers, which means I need 3 attacks to get through, losing 2 of my creatures. So none of that is good. All right, I'm just gonna pass. Like, I'm just not beating this, so. Like, if they choose to reanimate... Oh, they have to reanimate. So we get to Oath again, and we can maybe hit Solitude. So yeah, Sphinx hits us. They steal the initiative, and then we get to Oath and try to hit Solitude, I guess. Or Dungeoneer, I don't know. Spins the top. All right, Oath of Druids. So I would like to target you, and I would like to use the ability and reveal Seasoned Dungeoneer. I will steal the initiative back. I actually can attack them, right? So, but I need to kill this thing because I'm just going to die to this thing. So let's Lost Well. So resolve that. Don't need either of these creatures. I guess technically if I play White Plume this turn, I get the initiative again. And I can draw a... No, I can... What can I even do with that? No, I can't do anything with that. So let's just bottom both. So then this resolves. We lost the flip. We're actually dead on board to these things. Cool. No, I can play Archon to block one thing. But then they get to Oath again. But I have to. All right, combat. Attack. Dungeoneer trigger. Explores. Solitude to the top. Leave that on top. All right, if they counter this, we're dead. But if they counter Solitude, we're also dead. So play Archon. All right, they just have a Force of Will. Getting rid of Oko. And then we're just dead on board to the Flyers. So let's move on to the next game. Okay, so Containment Priest versus the Oaths. I guess I need these in case the Oaths resolve in the first place, right? And then the Lorens also blow up Oath. Well, I mean, like, what do we even... Okay, so not Mindbreak Trap. So what do we even cut is the problem. The Peacekeepers? Like, if we get them down fast enough, I guess the Dismantlers are not great. Maybe? All right, get rid of that. Oh, what else? Maybe these Chancellors just aren't good enough. Like, it can slow down the opponent, sure, but not to any significant degree. So maybe just get rid of those. All right. I don't know what I'm doing. Let's run that. Okay, we've got turn 1 Thalia. We're keeping. Monocrypt. Actually, I don't even need to play Monocrypt. Sapphire. Plains. I actually should play Monocrypt because if I don't and Thalia resolves, then I can't play it really well next turn. All right. Thalia. All right. Thalia resolved. And we have double Wasteland to follow that up. Strip Mine. Okay. Monocrypt. Lose. Wasteland. Go to combat. Attack. Well, our one white source is gone. So, I mean, that's that. Monocrypt. We've lost the flip again. If we keep losing, we're actually going to lose this race. Combat. Attack. All right. I'll play Ancient Tomb, and then I'll play Jet and tap the Sapphire to pay for it. Polluted Delta. They don't have to do anything. We're actually losing this race. Monocrypt. We won. Hooray. Mox Emerald, still useless. All right, attack with Thalia. Oh, play Emerald. Second Wasteland, go. Cracks the Misty, gets a Trop. Cracks the Delta, gets another Trop. Plays Island. All right, do they just have Oath of Druids? Yeah, all right, we need to draw white source like right now. All right, time to draw white. Monocrypt, heads, we won. We draw a Lotus Petal, that's good enough for me. All right, let's Wasteland both their Trops. Kill that, blow up Trop. All right, Lotus Petal. Pay the mana. Crack this for white. Cast Containment Priest. Combat. Attack with Thalia. Huzzah! Your Oath does nothing. Plays a Misty. All right. Mox Monocrypt. We lose. Archon of Emeria that we can't play. Combat. Attack. Opponent is at 6. Fetches with a Misty. Finds a Bayou. Brainstorms. Vintage is a funny format because a vanilla 3/3 for 3 would win your opponent this game, and this happens so much. Yeah. As Names Aren't Very Hard says, the thing I like about Vintage is that it's complete bullshit, but no one pretends like it isn't. All right, we won. Next game. We are on the play for round 3. We have, let's see, we've got double Chancellor, but we have a pretty slow actually, we don't have that slow of a start. We've got turn 1. We've got Dungeoneer on turn 3, which is kind of slow, but it's not too bad. All right, I will keep. Pretty insane to think that some few people actually own a Vintage deck in paper. I believe like any Vintage deck that go on in paper usually have proxy rules that allow some amount of proxying for like Power 9 and whatnot. Not officially, of course. All right, I'm going to play not Emeria's Call because I guess Emeria's Call. So play this, don't pay for it, go. If they have Wasteland or Strip Mine, this is the land that hurts the least for them to hit. Gix Probe. What a great spell to get this countered. Don't even have to pay for it. Just pay 2 life and completely ignore this tax. All right, well, that didn't work out. Ruby. Caracas. All right. Okay. We can play it now. Oh, man. Now I wish I'd run Cavern of Souls, but we can't wait. So play this. Play Chrome Mox. Imprint. Chancellor. Main deck Force of Vigor. Get rid of Veil of Summer. All right. You got it. Well, at least they're not doing anything. All right. Cavern. Name Human. Tap. White. Tap. Seasoned Dungeoneer. So trigger this. Initiative. Trigger. Go get a Plains. As far as I can tell, all they've got is Caracas and Ruby, and they just don't have mana to do anything else. All right, then. So this triggers Forge onto here. We drew Anointed Peacekeeper. So let's go to combat. Attack. Explore trigger. If they had swords, they would have used it now, right? So I guess they don't have it. We drew Wasteland. All right, well, they haven't been playing any lands, so let's waste them. waste your Caracas. And then I guess I'm going to play Anointed to see what it is that they're doing. So white, this one, Anointed. All right, they're conceding in response so we don't see their hand. I assume they're just like non-blue mid-range. Like maybe they're a Minsc and Boo deck or something, which I don't know what I'm supposed to board if that's the case. Although the Chancellors are not so great if that is the case. So let's Solitude, let's grab maybe Swords, I'm not sure. Let's grab some Lorens and let's put in a Sword until I know any different. I think the rest of the cards are fine though. All right, we've got Lotus, Chrome Mox, and Strip Mine. So we've got turn 1 Thalia with the Lotus to play White Plume Adventurer. So this seems pretty great. What am I Chrome Moxing? I guess Solitude. I feel like it's better to go Thalia plus White Plume on turn 1 than do anything else. Although I could Lotus the Dungeoneer into play as well. Mox Emerald Savannah. Taps for Outland Liberator. Okay, so maybe Thalia is not great in this matchup. All right, so even if I play Trinisphere, they can just blow it up. Actually, I can evoke Solitude on this. So, all right, let me think this through. So I go Lotus, that gets White Plume Adventurer into play. I don't think Thalia matters. It definitely doesn't matter if Trinisphere is out. So I go evoke Solitude, get rid of Thalia, kill this. Then I go, I'm not going to play Trinisphere yet. So I go Lotus, Lotus land Dungeoneer. Actually, let me think. So, okay, so Solitude, this gets eaten. Then Chrome Mox, so these are gone. Chrome Mox imprints this. I Lotus, get Dungeoneer into play, strip mine their land. And the Dungeoneer finds me another land. All right, that seems pretty reasonable. So this only fails if they have Force of Vigor in their hand again. So let's cast Chrome Mox first. All right, imprint trigger, imprint White Plume, then Lotus, crack this, play Dungeoneer, trigger this, grab a Plains, then strip mine your land, evoke Solitude, pitching Thalia, eat this thing. All right, they did have Force of Vigor. They pitched Elvish Spirit Guide to use it. All right, so we're left with exactly one land, but we do have the initiative. Wooded Foothills, cracks the Foothills, Taiga, Inti. Ugh, so I can't even attack them really. Maybe it would have been better to play White Plume because of the untapped clause. All right, I don't really want to forge this, so let's just Lost Well to Scry. Yeah, because I'm not attacking them. So Scry. Solitude, Emeria's Call. Emeria's Call is a land. Solitude is a thing I can't even play right now. So bottom this, and I guess top this. So play this, tapped, then we'll just pass and just hope they can't kill our dude. I love this guy. He's such a Giga Chad for sticking with Gruul Stomping Vintage. Oh, you weren't here earlier for Boros Convoke from Pioneer in Vintage. Forest, Root Maze, Artifacts, lands, enter tapped. All right, no attacks. So initiative, get the stash. I guess I could goad this, but no, let's just get mana. So the problem is I can play Trinisphere, but they can actually pay for their spells. It's all lands, period, right? Oh, the treasure also enters tapped. All right, here's a Plains. Go. Fable of the Mirror Breaker. All right, so we can play Dauntless and have 2 blockers open. Actually, no, I make a skeleton, right? Make a skeleton. Archon of Emeria. That is actually better than Dismantler, although I have to pitch my treasure to do it. All right, let's just play Dismantler. Actually, can I afford to attack? I'm going to have 2 creatures, although one of them's pretty low toughness. So if they trample, then I just switch to the other one. All right, so combat, attack, trigger itself, revealing, Anointed Peacekeeper. Yeah, bin that. Then they can't block, and then we'll play Dauntless. So we got 2 blockers, and this is big enough that even if they trample one of their dudes with Inti, we can still block it. All right, Fable. Discards Inti, which triggers Inti, revealing Outland Liberator. All right, so swing, triggers, discarding Elvish Spirit Guide. So revealing Cavern of Souls, and then they make a treasure. All right, it's giving it self-trample, so block here, here. Damage, these bounce off each other. The skeleton dies to the Fable token. Cavern of Souls enters tapped off Root Maze, naming Ooze. The only Ooze I can think of is Scavenging Ooze. Plays Outland. Wait, why is this flipped over? Oh, because the previous Outland it's night. I have to cast 2 spells to make this not night. All right. Well, we get our Catacomb trigger now, or our Throne trigger. So yield, reveal the top 10. Lauren and Dismantler. So, all right, it's not going to be Dismantler. So I can Lauren blow their Fable up. This thing's a 3/3, and when it attacks, it destroys stuff. That's not that bad. I should probably blow up the Fable, right? All right, Lauren, trigger, blow up Fable. We drew another Archon. I can blow up their Mox Emerald and their treasure, but like, I also still have enough blocks on them that it doesn't matter what they attack with, so I should just keep hitting them with Dungeoneer. All right. Also, if I hit a land, I can just play this Archon. So trigger, All right, we did draw a land. They can't block. They go to 10. Play this. All right, it enters tapped because of Root Maze. I mean, they're going to blow up my treasure anyway, right? So the only thing I'm considering is whether I want to blow up their emerald and their treasure versus just slamming Trinisphere into play or... Well, I guess, no, if I slam Trinisphere into play, this kills it, right? Yeah. So I just play Archon. All right, let's cast Archon. All right, Comet Stellar Pup. And now we get to decide this match based on rolling a die. Make squirrels, which allows them to take the initiative if they hit tack with everything. Although that doesn't give us the option of like killing a bunch of their stuff. Welcome Raiders, Strass Daddy. We are playing Vintage. It is currently round 3 and we are mono white initiative versus, I don't know, Gruul Stompy or Naya Stompy. They're just attacking with those two and not the squirrels. Okay, so what is Inti ditching? Nothing or something. Ditching Mox Pearl and exiling Wasteland, which they can play, right? Yeah, that's kind of rough. Although it enters tapped, right? Okay, so this is a 4/4. So if I block here, that just bumps it, and then I can just block here and kill this guy off. Comet's at 7? Jeez. All right, the problem is I don't trade with this unless I block with Lauren. So Lauren here, and then we can dual block this guy, and that kills Inti, and they trade for Archon. All right, let's do that. So it gets that off the board, and then they still have Comet in play. So they get to play Wasteland. Can't use it yet, but they can use it next turn. I guess I can waste their waste, but then I'm down a land anyway. All right, so initiative, we go grab another plains. I can attack Comet, I guess, or I can just keep hitting them and have them dead in potentially 2 hits, which seems better because we can't kill Comet anyway, so we may as well attack them. All right, combat, attack them. So trigger this. What is on top? Monocrypt. Yeah, we're definitely binning that, but now they're dead in 2 shots. So 5 down to 5. I should almost certainly wasteland them. I guess if I wasteland the Taiga, I take them off red mana. That could be relevant. But if I do that, I can't play Archon this turn. But I guess if they steal the initiative, that doesn't matter. All right, blow up Taiga. And then we play this. And back to them. Rolls with the Comet and puts a loyalty. Oh, they hit 6. Cool. All right, rolling again. Make 2 squirrels. Rolling again. Make 2 squirrels. Tarmogoyf. All right, good. We win. They can't block Dungeoneer, and stealing the initiative from us doesn't do anything. Block. Go to 15. Initiative. They get to take a land. Doesn't matter. Go to combat. Attack you with this guy. Trigger. Comet in play always feels like you could die, but in this case, we didn't. Round 4, we're against the Lurrus deck, and we're on the draw. And this hand is not that great. I can technically play turn 2 Peacekeeper and then Peacekeeper again, but that just doesn't seem very good. We kind of need like a really good start. Yeah, mulligan. All right, this is better. What am I getting rid of? Definitely not any of the spells, so a land? Maybe I do get rid of Solitude, I don't know. All right, let's get rid of Solitude. So reveal Chancellor. There's so many ways that getting rid of a land can screw you over, like if they just wasteland you and then you're out of the game. Oh boy, Urza Saga. Well, we need to get rid of that. Bauble, which they can pay for, and then Bauble enters. All right, so definitely need to wasteland this Saga, like immediately. Another Peacekeeper. All right, I'm just wastelanding that. Kill your Saga, and we'll just pass. No reason to expose Chrome Mox potentially to removal when we're not even going to play anything this turn. A second Saga. All right, Karakas, and then we'll just pass. So I can get Peacekeeper in next turn and name Saga, and then they can make 1 Construct maybe, but not 2. All right, I guess they can't if this goes unprotected. So this Chrome Mox needs to resolve. White Plume. So I guess Peacekeepering this doesn't matter now. It's better to get White Plume out. All right, so Chrome Mox, does this resolve? Force negation. Nope. Well, we got to play this. Cleric. And now if we don't draw a land, we're dead. What'd they pitch? Another Force. Lorien Revealed Cycle. Underground Sea. So chapter 3, and then they get something. Sensei's Divining Top. Plays this Dark Confidant. Draw a land. Come on. That's kind of a land. All right, Chrome Mox. Oh my god, another Force? They pitched a Merchant Scroll. All right, yeah. Bob trigger gets Sapphire. Plays another Bob. Alrighty then. We are once again in a position where we have to draw a land. It's another Chrome Mox. Let's see them somehow still have a counter spell with 1 card left. All right, Chrome Mox trigger, Chancellor, and then we have to block these guys before we get the initiative down, so let's Peacekeeper. Anointed. They have Bowmasters in their hand. All right, I guess I'm naming Bowmasters. Orcish Bow. So double Bob triggers with Divining Top in play is kind of rough. Mox Jet Recall. Okay, yeah. Recall, they have 5 cards in their hand. Tolarian Academy. Bauble. So If I attack, it costs, I mean, they can play Bowmasters. Like, Bauble Trigger resolves. What are we doing? Ancient Tomb. I can only play one thing, so... I mean, I'm not winning by not getting the initiative. All right, let's just attack, and if they ambush this with the Bowmasters, then fine. Swing. All right, they're not blocking. All right, let's play White Plume. Spins the top. Dress down in response. Okay, so we don't get the initiative. And then they're drawing 3 cards a turn off these Bobs and not even taking any damage because of top spinning stuff. So, you know, there's that. Cyclorian revealed. Gets an Underground Sea. Spins the top again. Spins the top during their upkeep. Don't really understand that. Okay. Is this a format where Bob is playable? Crazy. I know, right? I thought he was just unplayable. So they revealed another Bob and another Bowmasters. Wasteland. I mean, they're not, like, even if they ever got to a position where the Bobs would kill them, they can literally just Bowmaster their own Bobs to not lose. All right, combat. Attack. Solarian makes 3 mana. Plays one of the Bowmasters. Shoots this dude. And now they can multi-block the Peacekeeper, which... So if I'd played the other Peacekeeper first, then what? It would have stopped them from flashing another Bowmasters in response. Bob blocks this. Okay. Bob also blocks here and blocks here. Okay. So they're losing their Bobs and we're losing our team. So I can play Archon or another Peacekeeper. I guess Peacekeeper. Tap this, tap this. Spins the top. All right, so their hand is double Bowmasters, Bob, Force of Negation. So I guess I'm naming Bowmasters again. So Orcish, Bowmasters, and over to them. Urza Saga off the top. How much mana do they have? 3, 4, 5, 6. No attacks. So is an attack here even good? They can just still multi-block it, right? Like, an attack here isn't even good. I guess I'm playing Archon. I guess I'm playing Archon off of... I'm going to Chrome Mox this because there's no point in taking damage when I don't need to, since I'm never casting this anyway without Chrome Moxing it. So, like, they can flash in these Bowmasters, so let's just play the Chrome Mox. I mean, but they're never, ever gonna... Like, they're just gonna keep drawing more and more cards. I guess I kind of have to force them to block. But even just one Bowmasters can kill the Anointed Peacekeeper, so it's technically better to make these more expensive, I guess. I don't know. All right, Chrome Mox trigger, imprint this, play the Archon, and then we're just not going to attack them. Although we'll lose to this Saga anyway. Yeah. The only possible way we don't lose this is if Bob kills them, but with top in play, that's basically impossible. Are you going to play the deck -6, the Bob plus Animate Dead, World Gorger, Dragon combo for the memes? No. So they drew a Bauble off the Bob. They have approximately 10 gajillion mana with Tolarian Academy. How do I win on this board? I guess technically they can't block Archon. Bauble trigger. Drew Seasoned Dungeoneer. All right. Play Seasoned. So now this can get in unblockably. Spins the top. So these are going to be 7/7 constructs. Initiative. Trigger. I shouldn't play the planes because if I happen to hit Wasteland off of this attack, then it's better to play that. All right. Swing. Trigger. This targets that. What do we hit, if anything? Seasoned Dungeoneer again. All right, let's leave that on top. So, makes a construct, flashes in a Bowmasters, targeting us. All right, they're at 5. Pass the turn. So they definitely get to steal the initiative back. Bob trigger, reveal Lotus. They can play with Lurrus, with Lotus, they can get Lurrus into their hand, play it, and recoup Dress Down on their end step, which makes this not able to attack into them. Make another construct. Yeah, that's fine. I guess if they play Lurrus, I get to Karakas it back to their hand before the end step. So that's not an out for them. Aether Spellbomb. Okay. How much damage is this? 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. -1 if they pop this, so 10. 11 if they play Black Lotus. 12 casting the Orcish Bowmasters. We have 1 block. And anything I attack with, they can just Spellbomb in response, so I can't kill them. Yeah, swing there. Really? All right, I will 100% eat your Bob. I understand they have Bowmasters, but that ties up more of their mana. Also, they need 2 damage. All right, so they steal the initiative. Since I have a second Dungeoneer on top, I can technically make 2 of my creatures unblockable, but this guy's not big enough. But then this is flying, so maybe I get in for enough damage. So Lotus, end step. All right, so untap. So their hand is Force Bowmasters and then some other cards I don't know about. All right, cast Dungeoneer, spins the top. Draws with the top, so they must have found an answer, right? Force of Will, pitching Force of Negation. Yeah. All right. Try to go to combat. So it doesn't matter. They Spellbomb anything I attack with. I guess I just attack with this guy since he has Vigilant. No, I attack with this guy and this guy. And then how much damage am I taking on the swing back? If I attack with this guy, they're not dead. So if I attack with just this guy, they Spellbomb it. And then I have to block this, and I have to block both of these, and then Bowmasters kills me. Yeah, so we're gonna lose. Oh wait, no, they can't Bowmasters this turn, but they can Bowmasters on their turn. All right, Spell Bomb, bounce it. This ability fizzles, and then we can't recast this, so it's back to them. So the problem is now it's block, block, flash and Bowmasters before damage, deal 1 to me. I'm at 4. This is 4 power, lose the game. Oh, they also forge a thing? Oh yeah, they still have the initiative. So even without Bowmasters, they still win. All right, so let's see. They are Dimir Tinker deck. So they're a Saga deck, so Lauren's good. Solitude, they're Dark Confidant deck, so I just need like all the removal I can get. And then what is bad? The Archons don't really seem that great in this matchup. Let's cut all of those. Thalia seems okay. Actually, no, Thalia is terrible. They have Bowmasters in their deck. Yeah, Thalia is awful. Do these guys do anything? They blow up Saga tokens. And our opponent is running Tolarian Academy with a bunch of artifacts, so I guess they do something. All right, that seems fine. Let's do that. All right, we're on the play. Lotus into Anointed is, like, fine, but not great. And it's especially bad if they force it. I don't think I want to chuck this hand, though. There's the potential that I can play Chancellor, although that will take multiple turns to get to. I can just play turn 2 Anointed. All right, keep. Reveal the Chancellor. So let's play this tap. Let's play Lotus now. Let's just wait. I think the only way that they have to get rid of it is force, which means I should wait till they have fewer cards in their hand. Underground Sea, doing nothing. All right, Cavern of Souls too. So if they do have force, they can pay for it. I guess I can wait a turn and then Cavern. Although, so Ancient Tomb, 3, 6, 7. All right, so let's play Ancient Tomb and then let's just run out Peacekeeper. And then we can actually play this Chancellor unblockably next turn. Their hand is Dress Down, Bob, Virtue's Ruin. All right, well, we're going to name Virtue's Ruin. Virtue's Ruin. And then I'll just Lotus now. All right, next turn we actually get to cast Chancellor. Underground Sea, not playing anything. So I guess they're probably going to just flash Dress Down into play. All right, go to combat, attack here. Oh, wait, no. So if they flash and Dress Down, then this loses its ability, which means that they can then just untap and cast Virtue. So if I cast Chancellor right now, they have to flash Dress Down in response, right? But then next turn they can just Dress Down again. So no matter what I do, they're going to get to Virtue's Ruin regardless. So playing this now just exposes me to getting Virtue's Ruined. God damn. All right. It means I get to attack them once for 8, but then I die. But then all of my guys die next turn. So I have to play around this a lot. So yeah, flash and Dress Down. Oh right, this counters it. So yeah, yield. They could still do it next turn anyway though. So they lose a Dress Down. Plays the Saga. Plays Bob. Plays Mishra's Bauble. Sacks the Bauble. All right, I don't think I'm getting a better opportunity to do this, so I probably just have to cast Chancellor on my turn. I don't know. All right, let's Swords this. Bauble triggers. Oh, man, the initiative. So I go Cavern, Chancellor. They can't counter it. Then they untap. They have a land. Then they just go end of turn. So Dress Down costs 3, so they just go end of turn, Dress Down, untap, cast Virtue's Ruin, kill this and Chancellor. So I have to provoke them into doing it with the White Plume first. All right, so go to combat, attack. Then I'm not going to burn Cavern on this guy, so let's go Ancient Tomb, White Plume. All right, initiative it is. Grab the plains, play the plains, back to them. So Saga up to 2, which is fine. Mox Jet, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm 1 away, even without Lotus, from casting the Chancellor. Tolarian Academy. So the Construct is a 2-2 if they make it. Plays another Bob. All right, so Forge is bad if they just untap in Virtues, but otherwise, I guess I got to force them to use the Virtues at some point. So trigger Forge onto Anointed. Another Solitude. All right, they technically can double block, but then they lose both their guys. So let's just go to combat. Attack with both. No blocks. They go to 8. All right, so let's just Cavern and name Elemental so that we can flash in Solitudes uncontested. So they make a Construct. Am I supposed to kill this Bob right now? This just seems bad because if I do it now, then they just Virtues me. So let's just wait. All right. White Plume, untap this. Bob trigger, draws another Saga. Jesus. All right. Floats the mana off the Saga. Soul Ring. Plays the new Saga. Virtue's Ruin. So swings with both. All right. So we're going to white, here, cast Solitude. I mean, if they Dress Down in response, they kill their own Construct. So, like, Dress Down. All right, sure. Kill your own Construct. Redraw. Then I'll just trade with the Bob. Then they don't have a Bob anymore, and we get to retain the initiative. Block. All right, Dress Down goes away. All right, Trap to put them to 3. And then I'll cast Chancellor this turn. So this is, yeah, white, 5, 6. I'm going to leave swords open so I can swords Lurrus if they play it. Or another creature. All right. Cast the Chancellor. They only have 2 cards in their hand I don't know about. Orcish Bowmasters. Sure. So 11. Their hand is Underground Sea, and then they're drawing a card I don't know about this turn. Saga goes to 2. And they're dead in 1 hit to this Chancellor. So they have to have an answer to the Chancellor. Plays the sea. How much mana do they have? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So they can Lurrus to hand, play Lurrus, and then try to dress down, but we can kill Lurrus before they get to their end step. I mean, if the card in their hand is not a removal spell, then they'd have no outs. Pearl, trigger the Annex. All right, so that breaks even. Oh, no, actually it goes up 1 because of Tolarian Academy. So Lurrus to hand. All right, I need to make sure to stop on their second main. Plays Lurrus, trigger. They have to pay for that. All right, Lurrus resolves. All right, bounce it back. Flashes out, dress down, trigger the Chancellor. Pays. That's fine, because it's main 2, so they'll draw 1 card. Then Karakas resolves, bounce that to your hand, and then dress down goes away. All right, so they're tapped out. What a long game that was. We still got another one to go. I still think this is correct. The Archons just, like, don't seem that good. The Peacekeepers, to be fair, also don't seem that good. These at least, like, have Vigilance and are the type, like, they have Vigilance to block, and they're a Cleric, which means that Dungeoneer triggers off of them, so they work better with the initiative plan. Also, there are times when you want to multi-spell, so Archon can hinder you. I'm going to just keep this way. All right, we have no fast mana. We have a Chancellor, and we can Ancient Tomb an Anointed in on turn 2, but that's not very good either. We also have we have double Wasteland, which is good to fight Urza's Saga and Tolarian Academy. So this hand is like, okay, I'll keep. And we'll reveal champ. Opponent plays Saga. All right, we're instantly killing that. Mox Emerald pays. We're definitely instantly killing that now that Mox Emerald's in play. All right, Wasteland. Blow that up. Back to them. Underground Sea. Mox Ruby. All right, that's the wrong Mox for what we're trying to do. So let's just play Snow Plains and pass. Lorien reveals Cycle. Getting another Underground. Plays the Underground. Plays top. All right, I mean, I can play Peacekeeper, so I guess on the off chance that they have days, let's run out Ruby first. Actually, Lorien's even better because I can blow up their Emerald and just take them off of mana. All right. No, that's actually not better because if they just have Bowmasters in their hand, then they just shoot it. All right. Anointed. Spins the top. All right, does this resolve? Indeed it does. Their hand's Mental Misstep, Soul Rend, Repeal. What is this? Destroy target creature if it's white and then draw on the next turn. So let's name... They also have Wasteland in their hand. I mean, they can still activate Wasteland even if I name it. They can still play anything in their hand even if I name it. So I'm not naming Repeal. I'm not naming Mental Misstep. I'm kind of shocked they kept Mental Misstep in against us. I guess if I name Soul Rend, it is the most expensive thing. It takes their whole turn to use it, at least. So let's name Soul Rend. It means also if their only land is Wasteland, they have to do one or the other, not both. So Soul Rend, and back to them. Plays the Wasteland. Wastes our Ancient Tomb. Plays Mox Sapphire, which is what they drew for the turn. We drew another Ancient Tomb. Interesting. All right, so I'm not going to use the Wasteland, so I may as well just... Okay, so let's just attack them and see if they Soul Rend this first. Attack. No. Take 3. All right. Let's play Lauren, and we'll blow up the Sapphire. Trigger, target the Sapphire. They're repealing their Sapphire. All right. At least it gets repeal out of their hand. Bowmasters is what they drew. They drew the Bowmasters. Jesus. All right. Sure. Replays the Sapphire. Merchant Scroll. Oh, cool. They drew Merchant Scroll, so now they can scroll for recall and then recall. Jet. Urza's Saga. So we're just completely behind. Bob. All right. Chrome Mox. Sure. Chrome Mox. Exile the Chancellor. Play this. Go to combat. Attack. Blocking here. Sure. All right. We got to do all this stuff now. So let's waste their Urza's Saga. And then cast Solitude to kill Bob. Can't let them draw extra cards. All right. Bob's dead. Spins the top. You know, they only have 4 minutes left on their clock. So they may actually just die to the clock at the rate the game is going. Plays a new Bob. They still can't actually Soul Rend. And then their hand is Mental Misstep. Why didn't they just put Lurrus in their hand then? All right, combat. Swing with both. We're definitely killing this Bob. Spins the top. Sure. More time off the clock for me. Blocks here. Sure. All right. Wasteland. Let's blow this up. Keep them off Soul Rend mana as much as possible. Although they still have it, but what can we do? Top spin. All right. It's their turn. Plays a Bauble. Cracks the Bauble. All right. Flash in Solitude. Kill the Bowmasters. So they can Soul Rend now to kill Solitude, sure. Then 2 draws on the upkeep. We draw what? Dismantler. All right, we'll play that. Play Dismantler. They drew Force of Will. All right, attack. Wasteland. So they have 1 card I don't know about. And Lurrus. Puts Lurrus in their hand. Another Dismantler. Let's go. Play the Dismantler. Dress down in response. Sure. So I'll stop at my own end step. So that draws. So then we attack with the Peacekeeper. They take some damage. And then end step, that triggers and goes away. And then let's blow this up now. So activate. Destroy all the zeros. It blows our zeros up too, but gets rid of their zeros. All right. They got 2 mana. And they got to win in 2 minutes. Plays Lurrus. Plays Sapphire from the graveyard. Dungeoneer, which we can't play. All right. Go to combat. Attack. They also have a Wasteland, so like we're absolutely not winning in any way that's not the clock. Lotus. Pops it for 3 blue. Replays the Lotus. Plays Time Twister. All right, well, hang on. Wasteland. Let's just swords this. Swords your Lurrus. Pops Black Lotus. Repeal Lurrus. Sure. All right, Fizzle, Wasteland. Bobble. Cracks Bobble. All right, yeah, they realize they can't win in the time they have left. What a match. All right, round 5, we're on the draw. Okay, we have turn 2 Thalia or Archon with 1 backup. We're also playing against Lutri of all things. Wow. I'm still not going to keep this. All right, almost a turn 1. So this turn 2 White Plume is pretty good. So let's keep this and chuck one of the 2 Archons. Lutri is every card except lands, right? Yeah, so every card has to be unique. Urza Saga. So they know we have a Wasteland. Ruby, Manifold Key. All right, let's just blow up their Saga. Blow up your Saga. Plays another Saga. All right, well, we play this tapped. Over to them. Strip Mine, but they're not using it? What? I guess their constructs are 5/5s on their turn? Jesus Christ. All right, Sapphire. I actually have to Wasteland their Saga or we just lose the game here. Yeah, all right. End step. I mean, if they're not going to take any actions here, then I'll stop them on their upkeep. Yeah, okay, there we go. So, blow up Urza Saga. Island. Attacks for 3. All right, if they just strip mine, yeah, there goes our white source. So we have to draw another white source. We have not drawn another white source, so back to them. Take another 3. Time Walk. All right. Oh, a 3rd Urza Saga. Another Ancient Tomb. Well, we're not winning this. So they're just like the same soup that every other deck is, but they have Lutri as a companion. So, Lauren, and I think Thalia is good, but I'm not sure. Let's cut the Archons? Question mark? Or no, let's get rid of Solitude, and let's get rid of... I don't know, we didn't see much of their deck. I guess they're probably a spell deck, though. So Thalia's should be good, so let's just get rid of Archons. And then I don't want Priest or this or this. Swords is okay. Yeah, let's run that. Like, we really need to have turn 1 something. On the play, what do we got? We have yet another hand that's way too slow. In fact, it doesn't even have a 3rd mana, so mull this. All right, this hand is actually fast enough. So what am I putting back here? So I need both Moxes and Karakas. So probably turn 1 Thalia, so I can get rid of one of my Thalias. Yeah, all right, so keep this, put a Thalia back. So we're gonna go Jet. They didn't reveal Lutri this time. Play Thalia. All right, over to them. Wasteland. All right then. Well, let's cast a Chrome Mox, and let's eat this dude here. And then go to combat, attack with Thalia. Underground Sea. Gix Probe for the mana. Lotus Petal, you say. All right, so let's just cast this guy. Attack with Thalia. Urza's Saga. All right. So first things first, let's go to combat. Oh, of course it's Bowmaster. You have a singleton deck with Lutri, and yet, okay, whatever. All right, I don't actually have to play Cavern yet, so let's just not do that. So let's just make sure we don't expose Cavern to getting blown up and that we name the right thing when we need to. So over to them. We are unfortunately in a position where we basically can't name 0 based on what's on our board. So this makes a 1/1 right now. That's tapped. All right, go to combat. I guess I'll attack with one of these. And there's just no reason to play anything in my hand, so we'll pass. So they make a Karnstruck, and they make a Karnstruck, and then what does Saga go and find? Sensei's Divining Top. And another Saga. Oh, I'm so fucked off. All right, whatever. Like, I can't pop this for 0. Sure. And we're just drawing nothing. So we just pass back to them. Can't even do anything. Spins the top. Aside from Blood Moon, Urza's Saga is the card I hate the most in the game. Saga number 3. So we have just no window to ever actually use these. And they cost white mana, so even if I block, then they just make a Karnstruct, and then I guess I blow it, and in this point, all right. I have to do it at some point here, so block. Yeah, all right. So that's number 4, and now we just have to pop this. So activate this one for 0. Kills everything on our board and the constructs, but then they just have another 2 sagas going, so Ancestral Recall, sure. Chrome Mox, Imprint Anointed, and back over to them. I have to do that because I have to have white mana available. So the sagas tick up. They're floating. All right, what do they get? Manifold Key, Spins Top, Polluted Delta. They still have 8 cards in their hand. Like Ray of Enfeeblement. Well, popping it now is pointless, so yeah, that happens. All right, so 2 Bowmasters plus another 2 Constructs. We drew Lauren. All right, Cavern, Naming, Human. Play Ruby, then white, this, cast Lauren. Makes a construct. Yep. Trigger, blow up Saga. Still can't even really block anything here. Guess on the off chance I draw Caracas, I'm not gonna block. Losing life to cast Bitter Triumph in Vintage. All right. Play Archon. Opponent dazes. Preordain. Monovault. So I can't draw anything. Like the construct's a 4/4, so there's no creature I can draw that actually blocks it. If I play White Plume, they just take the initiative from me. I guess if I draw Lauren, I can blow up the Construct token. Then I'm just still losing to... They're massively ahead on cards and mana. Time Walk. All right, I'm conceding. Okay, 3-2 with initiative. So this deck is pure cancer. It doesn't matter whether you're playing it or playing against it. It's one of the most worthless, awful decks ever made. It's not just for Vintage, too. The initiative is just a horrendous mechanic. Aside from that, I mean, the deck has problems like... You know, there's matchups where Archon is super good, and then other matchups where it's terrible. Anointed is always just mid. Thalia also, there's matchups where it's not good. This can be not good depending. Like Solitude can be not good depending. So the problem is you really need, for this deck to be good, turn 1. So like, you know, mana ramp into turn 1, initiative creature or Trinisphere. And everything else in the deck is kind of mediocre. And I don't think there's really any way around that. There wasn't a way around it in Legacy, and I don't think that Vintage really offers much support beyond that. Like, the deck is basically running all the stacks pieces you could. But yep, that is initiative.